morning, everyone, and welcome to Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5, the Unity Station. I am Nolin Evel Ame, your anchor this morning on the breakfast show. Yes, you know how we do it on the program. We bring to you topical issues. We bring to you some other issues that are, trending in the society. And today, being 15th of October, we are going to celebrate rural women. Yes, the United Nations General Assembly set aside this day to celebrate rural women. Why do we need to celebrate them? Yes, from productions of crops to processing to distribution and lots more comes from that end. Yes, this is the reason why we need to celebrate them. And to this effect, we are going to have a guest on the program who is going to talk to us on the problems bedeviling these rural women and also bedeviling a bumper production from that end. We also have a road safety official who is going to talk to us on driving, most especially women. Yes, the production today is all about women. I'm so excited because I'm a woman and we are going to learn a lot from this episode. Today we are going to talk. Why am I laughing? You may ask. It's because it has to do with me. Yes, we are going to talk about women and driving. Women and men, who are better drivers? You will find out from the co-commander on the program. Join me as we welcome co-commander Ochi Oga Samuel. He is the FCT sector commander. He's here with us to tell us women and driving was the way forward. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning to
Thank
you.
you very much.
Yes, I'm interested in this topic because it concerns me
Okay.
Directly. So, if you want to make comparison now, women and men who are really better drivers.
Okay, if you look at all spheres of life, we have the two gender. We have them in driving. We have them in the offices. We have them everywhere. But when it comes to issue of driving, we have two categories here now. Private driving, you are driving for yourself, and then you are driving for the general public, the commercial drivers. Before this time, you notice that commercial driving has been an exclusive preserve of the male gender. But I think that has become a thing of the past.
Yes.
We have the women all over the place driving commercial vehicles. Even
including trucks.
Including trucks. Even articulated vehicles are being driven by women now. Now, there are quite a number of things when we look at driving by women and that we must look at. It is not the issue of whether somebody is better than the other one. All of us are within the same bracket. But then, women are generally, when we mention generally, we're looking at the number, the number involved here. The larger percentage shows that they are more careful. If they are driving on the road, you are bound to have some level of consciousness, of road safety more than the male counterparts. But then we have a problem where you become too careful. You are going to also cause obstruction for other road users. I think that is where the dividing line is coming in.
Okay.
A situation where a particular road that is meant for some reasonable speed, and you are driving too slow, because of your gender, which of course is the experience we have a number of times, then you're going to create problem for other road users. Generally, the characteristics of women driving on the road, number one, they tend to occupy the fast lane.
Okay.
That is where they believe that they are safer. So you notice that instead of moving off the fast lane, which of course should be the right thing, for other road users that are faster than them to move on, a number of them tend to use the fast lane. That is one thing. And then number two, they are also slower. Even on a road that they're supposed to be a little bit faster to give way to other road users, because probably they are more careful, they are a little bit slow on that road. And if you are on that road and you are that slow, you may likely cause obstruction for other road users. So we have the good and we have the other side of it when you are looking at the driving for women.
All right. Now, generally, if we talk about driving and knowing which lane you are supposed to take when you are speeding, when you are not speeding, do you think all motorists are aware of some of this, the usage of this road?
Unfortunately, a number of persons still don't have that understanding, or where they have the understanding, they are not complying with that regulation. Now, it is expected that if you are driving at your leisure or your speed is slower than is required, you are not supposed to drive on the fast lane. In fact, the fast lane is meant for overtaking, for routes that are more than one lane. For instance, if you are coming through the Kubwa road, the airport road, these are routes that, or these are routes meant for more than one traffic. Where you are expected to leave the fast lane for those that are overtaking, for those that are moving ahead, within the limited or within the allowable speed, and then you use the two other lanes for you to move on. But unfortunately, you notice that not just women now, every other road user in FCT will prefer to occupy the fast lane. And that is a problem, particularly for articulated vehicles, heavy duty vehicles. You see them occupying that lane. That clearly shows that some of them may be ignorant, or some other persons, because they feel that that is not being enforced to the level that it should be. Probably they are taking advantage of that. But everybody must realize that the essence of that lane provided is for faster vehicles to move ahead and then decongest the traffic.
All right. I will still bring us back to the issue of the road usage here. I discovered that most of the time, if vehicles break down on the road or are broken down, you see them taking the fast lane, and then they think they are safer using those lanes. So what are the implication of doing that from safety wise?
If you notice the road crashes, particularly on the highway, happening on the fast lane, it may be because of a particular vehicle that is not supposed to be on the fast lane occupying that lane. That is number one thing. And like you have rightly pointed out, an obstruction that happens on the fast lane is likely to cause a crash. And that is why motorists, road users are advised not to occupy the fast lane as their own way of being on the road. Rather, you move up if there is an emergency and you are occupying the fast lane, you are likely going to find it difficult to move off from that lane to the place that is safe for parking, except you are able to control, or maybe the traffic is not much on the road. And that is why it is not going to be very comfortable for you to occupy the fast lane. Occupy the lane that is comfortable enough. Should there be emergency, you can move up the road to the shoulder of the road where you can take care of that emergency. So like you have rightly pointed out, the unfortunate thing that we have is a situation where people believe that I must use the fast lane for safety. Now, from our experience and from our interaction with the general public, the reason why particularly the heavy duty tow truck use the fast lane is they believe that if they use the other lane, other road users are occupying those lanes. For instance, where we have the motorcycles, we have the keke, and they are using the other lane. So they prefer to be on the fast lane where they can move ahead. But unfortunately, their speed is not up to the speed of other smaller vehicles. And because of that, they now cause double obstruction where the other road users that are not, four lane, or that do not have the four wheel are using, and then they themselves that do not have the kind of speed that they're supposed to have on the road, then will now have a problem of blockage on the highway.
All right. Okay.
As much as possible, we want to encourage a situation where the articulated vehicles and those that are not moving at the speed they are supposed to move occupy the lane outside the speed lane for faster vehicles to be able to move on.
All right. Let's come back to the issue of the women driving on the road now. I observed that oftentimes you see some women carrying babies, while driving.
Okay.
Is that permitted?
No, they are not supposed to
their
carry.
laps?
It's not permitted. In fact, babies are not supposed to be in front of the seat, in front of the vehicle. We have baby sitters, we have restraint for babies that are supposed to be at the back of the vehicle. And I remember very well, just this morning we were on another program, and somebody called in and desiring to know where a baby is supposed to be kept. There's supposed to be a restraint for the baby, because whatever happens, that baby will not have the ability to be able to control what happens, and then the person carrying the baby may not be able to have the control if he sits in the front. So that restraint should be done in such a way that the baby is sat at the back. And then the mothers that carry babies, you are doing the wrong thing, because an emergency situation on the road could lead to that baby being lost.
Exactly. And a distraction also, maybe when baby cries and then you are on the fast lane, what exactly are you supposed to do at that point? Do you need to look back, and maybe if you don't have house help that maybe helps you with the baby inside the vehicle? So at that point, are you supposed to look back to try to calm down the baby, or you are supposed to park? What exactly are you supposed to do at that point when baby distracts you when you are driving and you don't have assistance in the car?
If you are alone in the vehicle and the baby is seated at the back, it is advisable that you don't occupy the fast lane. We have said that over and over, that you are not supposed to be on the fast lane. You should be at the lane that you can control emergencies. A situation of that nature is a call for an emergency. A baby requires your attention. You could park on the shoulder of the road, and then where the place is safe, of course, and then you attend to that baby so that you don't distract other road users. If you are occupying the fast lane and you need to turn all over, moving up the fast lane, you have caused great loss already. Those are the things that are happening within the FCT, that unnecessary gridlock is caused by somebody trying to move from the fast lane all over to the other lane when vehicles are already queuing up at the back. But if you are occupying the right lane you are supposed to be, and an emergency occurs, you have all the shoulder of the road to move to, and then whatever thing that you want to do and move on, you can do that effectively.
All right, and another aspect that we need to look at is receiving calls while driving, and this is specifically for women. Would you say they are in most cases, are they victims or men? When you do comparison now, who are really at the receiving end when it comes to taking phones, now, as in using phones while driving?
That statistics clearly shows that the two gender are guilty. It is not the issue of male, female. I think what probably I may look at is the reaction after the arrest. Probably if a lady is arrested for use of phone, sometimes she becomes more aggressive, and then to try to get back and things like that. I think that is the only difference here, but for the use of phone, it is everybody, it's a victim. And we're still calling on everybody, wherever you are and you're on the road, please don't make use of your phone, because it could cause distraction.
All right, on this note, we would like to appreciate you and appreciate your thought also as regards safety on the program this morning. Co-Commander Ochioga Samuel, we really appreciate you.
Thank you very much. We wish all our women on the road safety on the highway.
Amen. Thank you. Most especially today that we are celebrating rural women. It's an International Day of Rural Women.
Thank you very much.
So, of course, the topic is apt at a day like this. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We've been speaking with Co-Commander Ochioga Samuel. He's the FCT Sector Commander, and of course the conversation has been on women and driving. So women, be careful. Let us try our best possible to reduce road crashes on our highway, on our roads, and in any way we drive, because it's very important that we hearken to all the rules and regulations of road safety. Welcome back. You are still on to Good Morning Abuja, and that was our program's promo. Catch up with our programs on the Unity station. You've seen the time, you've seen the date, you've seen the names of the programs that we always transmit for your viewing pleasure on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. All right, if you just joined the program, it's still good morning, and we are going to have a conversation, and this revolves around women. Yes, every 15th of October, the United Nations has set aside the 15th of October to celebrate women, rural women. That is the International Day of Rural Women. What exactly are they doing? Are they really contributing to the development of our nation? Well, you will find out the answer from a woman who is seated here already to tell us more on the International Day of Rural Women. Now, we have with us Nanko Kumbin. She's the president, coordinator also, Media Initiative for Africa Development. She's here with us to shed more light on the International Day for Rural Women. You are welcome to the program, Ma, and good morning to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here this morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. We really appreciate you. And I say congratulations and happy International Rural Women's Day. Since you have a direct link with the rural women.
Yes, it's always a pleasure.
All right. Now, let's start this conversation by knowing the importance of celebrating rural women. Why do we need to celebrate rural women? What exactly are they doing that worth a celebration?
Thank you so much for having me here this morning. Rural women, as we all know, are key players in agriculture and food supply. And so we cannot negate the fact that when we talk about feeding the world, that we can't negate the fact that women have to be projected as one of the vital tools for feeding the world.
I think to some extent government has set out like loans targeted at these rural women. How effective has this been in helping them achieve good production?
Well, I would say there are loans from Bank of Industry, Bank of Agri, but to be frank, a lot of rural women have not been able to access these loans. But not to say women and farmers are not accessing these loans, but the real women who really need it out there in our rural communities in the states, because of our educational, barriers to them, they are not able to access because of technological barriers where they don't have access to internet to know when these loans are out there, how to go about accessing it. They are not really positioned to access these loans yet. That's the truth.
All right, what is government doing, or maybe non-governmental organization and some projects like the one you are handling? What are you really doing to bridge this gap?
Okay, my NGO, Media Initiative for Africa Development, is basically out there to help using the media as a tool to advance rural development. And when we talk about rural development, women are key players there. So that's why we have a segment of the NGO that deals directly with empowering rural women and bringing development close to them through advocacy, through information, any form that we can help to develop them infrastructurally and economically. So we try and see how we form them into cooperatives, because these are actually ways of reaching them with funds. And so we have been able to do that since 2019, where the NGO started its grassroots project in full force. And we have been able to form them into cooperatives so far. And this is the way we're able to give them soft loans and grants so that they can do what they need to do in agriculture or small-scale businesses.
All right, what is at the moment, that was your assessment since you started 2019? What's your assessment of the impact some of these loans and other assistance, has made on the lives of the rural women?
Well, what I realize is that rural women are resilient women. You give them a little and watch and see wonders with that little. We were able to access a little grant, and we gave women in Plateau State. We started with Plateau State because for now we are looking at the middle belt. We've been to Nasarawa and then Plateau State, and we were able to empower these women and then monitor their activities from time to time, 3 months, because at the end of 6 months, you try to see what they have been able to do with the loans that were given to them. And we realized that these women, the cooperatives we formed them into, they were able to generate money, save money from the ones we gave them, and they empower more women, because those are the criteria we gave to them. And they were able to empower more women to add to their own cooperative. And presently, the two, because it's an annual project we do, and presently the cooperatives were formed. At the moment, they are forming themselves to be able to procure equipment to help them in their agricultural endeavors.
Okay.
So, they are able to generate more money from the little you give to them. So I think the attitude they have towards help is very commendable. So if government or other non-governmental organizations can focus funds and resources to rural women at the grassroots, not women in the city. We tend to misunderstand that when you empower women, you want to reach women, and then you just focus on city women. You are not really reaching the women that are really involved in food production. When you want to reach women for food production, go to the grassroots.
Sure.
And when the little you give to them, because of the low level of economic activity, the little you give to them is like you have given them, so much, and you see the effort they make in not disappointing you. And so they put in effort. They are motivated. They are self-motivated, I can say.
All right. Now, taking it from the aspect of motivation, when we talk about rural women, of course, you have highlighted some of the essential roles they play in food production, crops production, processing, and lots more. Now, as a matter of policy, moving forward in our nation, Nigeria, what would you tell government as regards empowering rural women? What kind of attention do you want government to give the rural women? Because you mentioned that when you give them a little loan or incentive, they will produce large quantity of things that are food produce that can feed the whole nation. So what would you tell government to do? Because even though government is putting also effort in improving the rural populace when it comes to agricultural activities, but now talking about women in specific, so what would government do?
Thank you for this opportunity. You see, I have had opportunity to interact with many women at that level, and in the course of our interaction, we try to collect data from them, and we ask them, what do you want? What do you want? And there are three basic things that all of them keep echoing. The first thing is water.
All right.
They want water. Why water? Water seems so disconnected to what we are talking about now. But water is very important for the rural woman. Why? Because her productivity is centered around water. Because when you wake up in the morning as a woman, if you have a tap running with water or a borehole connected to your house, you don't have to walk far to get water to start your day. There's a slogan that says water is life.
It is.
You can't really do much without water. So if you need to travel a few kilometers to get this water, it has eaten into the time that you need to put into your productivity for the day, which is basically agriculture. And so that's one for water. Then secondly, they need herbicide and they need pesticide for their farms.
Okay.
In terms of production, technologically, we can't say agriculture has gone far in the rural areas. So they do it manually. And so they need herbicide to clear their farms. If a woman, for example, has a farm, maybe 1 acre, and she has farmed rice, it takes her more time and effort to weed her rice farm, to remove weeds from it. But if she has access to herbicide, she can just spray her farm and leave the weed to dry. That means she has reduced the labor she needs to put in, and therefore there's a boost in the output of her farm. And so they need fertilizer, herbicide, and pesticide, so as to reduce the labor they need to put into the farming.
Okay.
And so these are major things. And then thirdly, education. A woman, everything a woman is doing at the grassroots, surprisingly, is for her children to be better. She's not doing it for herself. She's doing it for her family to be better, to feed well, and to be educated, to have to live a better life than she is living.
Sure.
And so these three things are, basically what rural women are asking for. Infrastructure, water should be provided, education, and then farm implements and other things that will make the labor
like improve
less.
seeds and other things.
Yes.
And of course, the water is also essential for irrigation,
Yes.
like dry season farming.
Yes.
So it will be like an all year round production. During
Yes.
rainy season, then the dry season, that water helps a lot.
Yes.
The theme for this year says rural women cultivating good food for all. We pray that we'll have this good food that is coming from that end. All right, now away from agriculture, let's talk about voting rights of women, of rural women to be specific.
Yeah.
Do you think they are involved in voting process or they are disenfranchised?
Well, in my opinion, in 2018, I think, I had an opportunity to do a little production for EU
Okay.
on women's participation in voting.
Okay.
And I came to understand that women are actually enthusiastic. Rural women are very enthusiastic
Okay.
when it comes to voting. They know that good leadership depends on who they put there, and so they are really informed. But then, in recent times, there's an advocacy that we should go on voting electronically. I think at that point, rural women will be highly disenfranchised. Why do I say so? Because if you have been to our villages or to our rural communities, you realize that we don't really have much. There's no development, no sign of development, no sign of government there. You don't even know if there is a governor in the state or the local government chairman is doing anything in terms of the development.
Okay.
And so if we go electronic in voting, how will they have access to this the biometrics and then the method of voting? How are they going to have access? They are used to the manual. They are so excited about it already. So I think if that is to go on, then there's a lot that government will need to put in place before we can actually say the rural women have been given an opportunity to really lend their voice to who they want to be, a leader in their country to influence their lives.
Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts on this program. And to round up this conversation, what would you tell rural women out there as we celebrate their day, 15th October every year?
I want to tell rural women in Nigeria, Africa, and the world that you are a strong woman. Sometimes you feel because you are in the rural, or people feel you are in the rural communities, and therefore you are not exposed, or that you are not up to it. But relating with you rural women, I realize that there's so much. A rural woman is resilient. A rural woman is someone who can take on feats that an urban woman cannot even. You think of committing suicide, but that's not the thought of a rural woman. She's thinking positive, she's thinking strength, and she's thinking how she's going to overcome all the challenges. And so I want to say to you, keep on the good work, and you will continue to soar from level to levels.
All right, amen. I will say amen to your advice to rural women out there. Thank you so much, Nanko Kumbin, for coming on the program and for your thoughts on Good Morning Abuja as regards rural women out there.
Thank you
Thank you. Wish you good luck in your endeavor.
Thank you so much.
All right. I've been speaking with Nanko Kumbin. She is the President and Coordinator Media Initiative for Africa Development. And of course, the conversation has been around rural women, as the 15th of October every year is set aside to celebrate the International Day of Rural Women. And of course, this year we are looking forward to bumper harvest from rural women. The program is still Good Morning Abuja. It continues shortly. Stay with us. The man behind that beautiful song, Shumuleta, is here in the studio with us. He's a visiting artist from Rwanda. Yes, all the way from Rwanda. And to be precise, he's from Kigali. He's here with us to tell us why he's in Nigeria and what we stand to benefit from his visiting to Nigeria. And we also have another person, fantastic person on the program, who is also partnering. I don't know. She's going to tell us more about herself in the course of the conversation. Join me as I welcome to my immediate left, Stephanie Nnadi, aka Bond. She is the CEO of 1% Management International. Next to Stephanie Nnadi is Platini P. He is the guest artist from Rwanda. He's here in Nigeria and we are glad to have him. Welcome to Nigeria and glad to have you here in NTA.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Let me start with you.
Yeah.
Why are you in Nigeria?
Let me give the answer. Why not Nigeria now?
Why did you choose to be here?
So Nigeria is a beautiful country, first of all.
Okay.
And it's also a beautiful place for my work. So as a musician, the industry is really nice here, and because it's huge industry, huge music industry. So that's why I basically came here to pay courtesy visit to see if I can learn something from Nigeria also, just to keep promoting my music. But also I'm partnering with a Nigerian company, 1% International. So these are the people who brought me here, so now I'm benefiting from them to have and to present to you my work and my culture from Rwanda.
Wow, we have a lot to benefit from you. This one, you're bringing culture into it. Okay, we will talk about your video, Shumulator, that we just watched. But let me hear from who you are partnering with in Nigeria. Stephanie,
Yes,
what do you have to say concerning his visit to Nigeria?
His visit is just to put a face to the voice, the
Okay.
music, and all of that,
All right.
and to say that we're very happy to have him as part of us here. And it's a journey that is very good, and we're very happy to welcome him to Nigeria. Because I always
why
threatened
the choice of him from Kigali?
I don't want to repeat what he just said. I almost said, why not him? But his charisma and his personality.
Okay.
You have, because first of all, he's very big in his country, Rwanda. Going to partner with somebody like this or signing somebody like this to bring into your organization, he will just go. They probably will just say they are bigger than you and all of that. But then he's humble, and his personality and charisma is what is driving all of this.
All right, you are a CEO of 1% Management International. Tell us your work. What exactly do you do?
1% International Management Services is a 360 degree entertainment outfit, media outfit, where we have a lot of things under our organization. We have a recording label. We have the management section of it as well, where we manage both actresses, models, poets, all of that. All is a big home. So basically that's what we do, and in 1% we try to bring talent together and then try to pay it forward as well to people that cannot meet the bridge.
All right, let me go to Platini P now. Your impression on Nigeria is a good one. Because you said Nigeria has a huge entertainment industry that you want to learn from, and also you want to, project your career here in Nigeria, as in using Nigerian music also as well to learn from our culture as well. I want to ask, how long have you been into music?
That's too long, too long. You know, I've been into music since I was a young kid, a very young kid.
Okay.
But professionally, I started 2009. I joined the band 2009.
Okay.
We did so many things with the band, and then later on, 2000. I mean, like few years later, that's when I started my solo career. And this is solo career is the one that brought me now here to Nigeria.
Okay, what genre of music do you sing?
I do, because you know I do Afrobeat, but you know Afrobeat has different genres. So I go for, normally when I started music, I was into R&B thing, and then now I'm turning R&B into Afrobeat. So I take my R&B vibe into the Afrobeat. So I do normally, let me say, I do Afrobeat, Afro R&B, Afro pop.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So what can Nigerians learn from you, that the entertainment industry now learn from your wealth of experience?
First of all, I bring like there is a new sound that I have that it's from my country. We have our own particular sound. Not only that, you know, every sound goes with culture. So there is a way my culture is created, the way my culture is something also I would like to share with the Nigerian people. And if they like it, then we go with it. So I will share my vibe, I will share my sound, I will share my culture. And also, let's say, I'll share that. And then the rest I will learn too.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's beautiful, and we're looking forward to getting more from you. Now, how would you advise government when it comes to entertainment? Where do we lack? Where is the loophole? And how can we overcome these challenges? We want you to point out some of the challenges, what is really making Nigeria not to be there and not to generate that income that Nigeria need from the entertainment industry.
Oh, thank you. That question is very straightforward. I think the government, you know, in entertainment, it's an individual thing. It's just like one person going to do their thing, and government have not really, even though there's always a space for entertainment in everything that they do, but for the entertainers to assess the funds to get there, it's always a problem. So if they can have a way to make it easier for them to assess, because in entertainment you need a lot of money to get into it and all of that, and whatever thing you do, you need. And I know if government comes into it to say, now we want to look at this industry, who are the players in it, who are the people that we can trust, that if we do this, they would represent us well. Because I mean, everybody's doing it's just like the Nollywood as well. What they're doing, they are selling. What they are doing, Nollywood is selling Nigeria out there, and he knew, and all of them everywhere in the world. It's entertainment that is putting us, you know, bringing us back to who we used to be, you know, and giving us the right image that we need.
Okay.
Literally. So if for the government to just, they already have it, they created it already. It's just to put the right people in position to make sure they implement what the vision is.
All right. Platini P, do you hope to do more collaborations with Nigeria?
Sure, that's the plan. You know, I know everything takes time, but that's the plan. So I'm working on my first album that is coming next year, and we have to collaborate with different musicians here in Nigeria, because they are already doing good in my country. So if I go with them also, that's something my country will enjoy.
Before I let you go, I want to know more about the video we watched earlier before we started this conversation. Shumuleta.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Shumuleta is a name of a human being, but woman. And
Okay.
it's for beautiful women.
Mm.
So they are the people who make us fall in love. So that song simply means that I'm falling in love with Shumuleta because she's too beautiful.
Okay,
She
Shumuleta is the name of a person.
Yeah, person.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it from certain movie,
Mm.
and then I decided to do it to turn it a song.
Okay.
So that beautiful video was shot here.
Mm.
The beautiful lady in the video lives in Abuja. She's South African, but she lives here.
Mhm.
And they were shot by my guys from Rwanda.
Okay.
They just came here to do the video.
Okay, so that means this is not your first time of coming to Nigeria.
Yeah, because this is my second time, because my first one I came just for the video. And,
Okay, for the Shumileta video.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great one and a good one for Nigeria.
Thank you.
Yes. So, what is your final word to Nigerians?
Nigeria, you are great people. I'm coming for you.
Yes, and we are ready for
We're
you.
ready for you.
You are coming for us, and we are ready for you.
Yeah, we ain't going nowhere.
That has been nice speaking with you, Platini P, and
Thank
also Stephanie Nadi.
Thank
We
you
really
so much.
appreciate your presence on this program, and thank you for your thoughts as well as regards the music industry, entertainment industry in Nigeria, and more collaboration coming in, more big names Nigeria will be making out there, you know, for having people, big people like you, Platini P. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, man, for having us.
Yes, I've been speaking with a great man and woman in the entertainment industry. Of course, you've heard it all from them. And the program is still Good Morning Abuja. That concludes the program Good Morning Abuja. We appreciate your time with us on the program, and we hope we were able to inform, educate, and entertain you on the issues that relates to women, because the outing actually is all about women today. Thank you so much for being part of this edition of Good Morning Abuja. Another episode returns on Monday morning as it pleases God. I am Nolin Evel Ame saying have a lovely work.